Hey, Dad,
Yeah,
who's on first?
we're on first.
Yes, we are. Next on Swissing It Up.
So we decided to save the first for last.
That's right. We are actually in what they call Fierst.
Fierce,
Fierst.
we call it first.
Grindelwald Fierce. But Americans, it looks like first. And just to show you that there's not a bad view anywhere from where we are, we're going to flip the camera around and show you the most breathtaking, amazing, I can't think of a better place to do our last Swissing It Up episode from. It's
And look
just
at this.
gorgeous.
Blue sky, sunshine. I think it's on the last day we're here.
We're
Sun has
leaving.
come out.
We're leaving, and the weather is perfect.
Amazing.
Did we do this wrong? But actually, there's a lot to do up here in Fierst. There's all kinds of activities for the family to do.
But the thing I loved the most, I don't know if Mike loved it, the thing I loved the most was the cliff walk. So I got some great video of Mike walking along the cliff walk. Poor Mike who's afraid of heights.
It was a little harrowing. When you look at these things on somebody else's video, it doesn't look so bad. But when you're standing there walking up against a cliff,
Yeah, you really have to kind of hug the cliff because it's a pretty narrow walkway.
feeling the vibrations of the walk, wondering if it's going to hold with that many people on.
But there's a point where like people are all lined up to like get a picture out at like the point.
Yeah.
So there's like a payoff at the end, and we got some great photos out there.
Just to clarify, I did not do that because I was afraid.
No.
I didn't want to stand online for 35 minutes to do that, so we found a better spot
Yes. of
and
course
got
we
the
did.
same background. So there you go.
So this is first, and it, like I said, it did seem like a great place to do our last video.
But we also want to take a second and show you what we did yesterday, because yesterday was a pretty fun day too.
So we got on a train and we headed down the mountain range to a town called Interlaken.
All the way at the bottom. And you'll see why in a minute, but the actual translation of Interlaken is the land between two lakes. And it is. It's the little patch of land that separates the Toon Lake from Lake Brienz.
Yes, and another beautiful day. Actually, it started out a little cloudy, but we took a ferry. We started out in Interlaken, but we went there to get a ferry, and we took a ferry over to a town called Isselwald.
Isselwald, which is one of the more charming
Oh, it's so
villages,
charming. Small.
I would say, in Switzerland. Something about the water there too. It's like this beautiful turquoise blue. Of course, it depends on what the weather is that day, but at the very outside of Isselwald is a castle. So
Yeah,
Debbie got to see her third castle.
So we got one more castle, and it's called the Seeberg Castle. We can't actually go in it because it's privately owned, but we did get some magnificent views of it. Yesterday was a lot about views,
Yeah.
like today is.
All about the views. It was definitely a couple of postcard moments that we had walking along the beautiful Swiss village of Isselwald.
And when we made our way back, we took a bus back to Interlaken. And one of the things Mike really wanted to make sure we got to was a place called Harder Klum. And tell him about that.
The thing about Harder Klum is that there's a restaurant at the top, which of course we had to indulge in, but it's also an incredible viewing platform to best illustrate what the land between two lakes looks like. So when we got to the top, we noticed immediately. Well, first of all, we had to take a funicular up, which
Yeah.
is something I've never been on
Our
before.
first funicular.
So great,
That was
more
very cool.
heights.
And the funiculars are just like, they just go like straight up the mountain and into the mountain and out of the mountain.
It's
very cool.
almost like an elevator, but we're riding up completely vertical, backwards. As if, the
like
steep.
that
No. But when we got to the top, we noticed very quickly, we're ascending into the clouds.
Yeah, it was just nothing but cloud cover. We were like, oh man, are we not gonna get to see anything?
So naturally, that's not good for video, and
No.
we were thinking,
We were like a whiteout again.
yeah. So we decided to take in some lunch at the
Yep.
top. We had our second round of fondue, which
Yes.
was amazing.
Amazing. Had a glass of wine. Mike had a beer.
It was fantastic.
Had some Tom Kha Gai soup. It was really good.
Yeah, and then a miracle happened.
And then it just the clouds.
The
just
clouds
dispersed.
opened.
Yep.
and gave us a magnificent view. It's why people go up there. It's so worth it to
magnificent.
take in the panoramic views of Interlaken from however many feet up we were. I've already forgotten, but it was something.
4,000. I think it was 4,000.
Yeah, that sounds right. 4,000.
4,300 feet or something like that.
4,300 feet up, we got
Yeah.
a tremendous panoramic view of the land between two lakes.
Yes, it was a day filled with views. So we figured we'd do our final thoughts with a view like this one, because it's magnificent. One of the things I just wanted to touch base on as we kind of wrap up our time here in Switzerland are the amazing people that we met. Everyone we interacted with was friendly and kind and warm, and there were some great. We met some other people traveling through, and that's sort of the beauty of when you travel, right? You just run into strangers, and we met these 4 couples who were traveling from Australia. And they were staying at the same hotel, and we were all sitting out having wine and beer one night. We got to talking, and 2 hours later,
2 hours later, I had 3 new Facebook friends.
and we met 2 new Debbies.
Yes, everybody you see in this picture is actually named Debbie. But this group of people, they've traveled together. They do a big trip every couple of years. You know, I've got a group of friends, the Scavengers, who we like to travel
Shout out
with.
to the Scavengers.
Shout out to the Scavengers. Just to let you know, these guys are like 10 to 15 years older than us, so we need to keep up with them. I think we can do it, though. But they are amazing. They had the best time, so much laughing, so much drinking.
So much drinking. Yes, we all did so much drinking. It was great.
And it was great just to connect with people from a country so far away from us. By the way, they've never been to the United States. At least that's what I was told. And I hope they'll get there soon. But it was great to just, you know, kind of compare notes and talk about sports and pop culture and things like that.
Yeah, we covered a lot of
They were
ground.
amazing.
And speaking of that, of the hotel we stayed in Grindelwald, the hosts, Gabby and Gary, were, I just have never met people like this. They're 4th generation who own this and run this hotel. So their sons run the one next door. They run the one we were in. And you could just feel the family. You could feel their generosity, their hospitality. It was just incredible. And even I connected with one of the staff there. Her name was Joanna. And she was so beautiful. I tell you, you could just like her light, it just shined right out from her. And every smile and every gesture, she was someone I made an instant connection with.
Now, sometimes, on occasion, you may actually run into somebody you know. I had a very interesting experience on this trip. Several months ago, for Growing Bolder, we did a story on a beautiful soul. Her name is Petrina. And it turned out she was traveling with her husband to Switzerland, whose name is Michael, at the same time that we were traveling.
Literally, same time.
And they were only like a day or two behind us.
Always a day or two behind, in the same places.
They were doing the same itinerary we were. So it was great to kind of check in with them and compare notes. And in fact, they came to Montreux after we did, and she found our signature on the wall.
And she snapped a picture of it, got video of it. It was so great.
So at least we knew that the rain hadn't washed your pen away. And check this out. She actually caught up to us.
We got to see her.
We got to see her and say hi in person. How great was that? Yeah, it was great to catch up with them and follow them and, you know, communicate through Facebook and see what they were seeing. A lot of the same things. Of course, they had sometimes better weather than we did, but, you know, that was okay.
I mean, I would say all in all, this was an extraordinary, exciting, fun adventure for Mike and I. And we are, do you have any final thoughts?
I would say I'm just grateful. I mean, we got an opportunity to see something amazing. And
We did. We're blessed to have had this opportunity, and we are so glad that that you guys could share it with us, and together we can all now together say goodbye to Switzerland. So until next time, Switzerland, let's keep Swissing it up.